As the war in West Asia continues, drones and missiles are flying in all directions. Iran is hitting back at American assets across the Gulf, even as Israel and America continue pounding Tehran and its missile bases. Gulf countries have faced the brunt of the Iranian retaliation, from Riyadh and Doha to Kuwait and Bahrain and even Cyprus. Everybody has come under attack from the Iranian drones and missiles. But amid the fierce fight, both sides are engaging in claims and counterclaims over the attacks across the region. In the latest, Iran has denied attacking Saudi Aramco's Ras Tanura refinery. The Ras Tanura complex on Saudi Arabia's Gulf coast, remember, houses one of West Asia's largest refineries with a capacity of 550,000 barrels per day. It serves as a critical export terminal for Saudi crude. Since the beginning of the war, the Ras Tanura refinery has been struck at least twice, forcing Saudi Arabia to close the refinery amid fears of a broader disruption in the region's energy infrastructure. But Tehran says it is not behind these attacks. It has instead blamed Israel for carrying out the strikes. Iran has also denied hitting Akrotiri, which is UK's base in Cyprus. Iran's denial has received the backing of UK's Defence Ministry, which has confirmed that a Shahid-like drone that targeted the Akrotiri base at midnight on the 2nd of March was not launched from Iran. Similarly, Tehran has ruled out any involvement with the drone attack in Azerbaijan's Nakhchivan airport as well. The Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazim Garibabadi has denied Tehran's role, saying that the Islamic Republic does not target its neighbouring countries. The comments come a day after Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev vowed to respond to the drone attack. The country's defence ministry is now analysing the technical specifications of the drones to identify the attacker. Iran says these are false flag operations by Israel that are aimed at sabotaging Iran's relationship with its neighbours. Tehran has also denied firing missile toward Turkey. According to a statement carried out by the Iranian media, the Iranian Armed Forces General Staff has denied firing missiles at Turkey, saying that the Islamic Republic respects Turkey's sovereignty. Earlier this week, NATO air defences had shot down a ballistic missile which had entered Turkey's airspace. The attack prompted Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to warn Iran not to damage its ties with Turkey. Amid these claims and counterclaims, a report by the Critical Threats Project says that Iran has launched far more drones and missiles at Gulf countries than at Israel since the beginning of the war. According to the report, Iran has launched 255 drones and missiles targeting Israel, but it has fired 2,171 drones and missiles toward the Gulf countries so far. Of these attacks, 1,138 were aimed at UAE alone, suggesting that Iran's retaliatory attacks have focused heavily on regional American allies rather than Israel itself.
Thank you, security forces.
Let me welcome on the broadcast Hafid Butaleb, is geopolitics and international relations analyst at the AOB Group. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on WION. I want to start by asking you how you view this entire situation. There are claims, there are counterclaims. Iran says that we haven't done anything against the West Asian neighbors, but there are certain reports that are claiming that Iran has used more number of drones and missiles against its West Asian neighbors than against Israel.
Well, Iran doesn't exactly say they haven't done anything toward their neighbors in the region. What they say is that there are some attacks they are not responsible of. And they want to blame Israel on that because, of course, now there is a war opposing direct confrontation opposing them to Israel. So it seems that, beyond any doubt, of course, because of the specific material used for these attacks, this would be at proxies from Iran. And Iran doesn't held full control over its proxies, and by doing so, they want to impose an economic cost to their what now they see as their adversaries, because these, like Kurdistan autonomous region and other countries in the region host American bases and also American interests. And so they want to impose economic cost on them. And of course, they want also to demonstrate some reach and deterrence toward what's the ongoing aggression that targets Iran, because after all, it is, of course, a war targeting Iran. It can be also described as an aggression. And in the meantime, while doing so, avoiding or alleviating the pressure on the Islamic Republic regime. So this is the equation that Iran tries to do. They don't want to be held responsible for all this escalation that they are conducting, of course, beyond any doubt, on their neighbors. So they, of course, leave some margin for their proxies to behave.
You know, since you're mentioning the proxies, there are many who believe that Iran has been responding very strongly against the American and Israeli strikes, so much so that this side has been quite surprised with the kind of response that has come in from Iran. But now we can also expect a coordinated attack from the proxies, from Hamas, Houthis and Hezbollah. Do you see that happening in the coming days?
Well, let's wish Hamas will not move, because Hamas now is involved in a peace process that has on board multiple Muslim countries cooperating with the United States on the board of peace, including the largest Islamic country in the world, which is Indonesia, and also Morocco, the country from which I am speaking today. So, of course, the Hamas has another agenda that I hope is going to stick to that, and of course, ultimately leave the armed option for a more political agenda. Let's hope on that, because otherwise the situation will escalate on Gaza again, and this would be counterproductive. For the others, we've seen the firepower of Hezbollah has dramatically fell compared to the last year and the last couple of years, where they, of course, they had much more capabilities to attack Israel. It is now, I think it's just few missiles are launched from Lebanon, giving to Israel the pretext to invade the southern Lebanon. And in Iraq, there is the Iraqi Hezbollah. And I think that what's happening today, these attacks on the Sarsang oil field in Kurdistan might have been conducted by the Iraqi Hezbollah because of these doubts that Americans could gather Kurdish rebels for incursions from the northwest to a kind of on the ground disguised invasion of Iran held by the Kurds. So maybe this would be the warning from Iran to these to the Kurds, and the Sarsang oil field will have outsized economic and political impact. That's of course beyond also any doubt.
You know, but it's interesting that the Kurds have refused to help. They've put out a statement saying that we will not help Donald Trump have these attacks conducted by us against Iran.
Well, it is the autonomous region who replied, but there are multiple Kurds or Kurdish organizations, especially those who are mainly dominated by Iranian Kurds and not Iraqis. And these Iranian Kurds are, of course, also suffered for decades from the dictatorship of the mullahs, and now they might have the revenge. And of course, the autonomous region of Kurdistan don't have any power technically to conduct any kind of these invasion of Iran from the northwest. So, of course, they want to also to avoid direct escalation with their Iranian neighbors.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Hafid Butleb, thanks very much for joining us at the moment and sharing your perspective on the latest developments as far as West Asia is concerned.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.